I think gold's getting demonetized by Bitcoin right now. If you look at the past 3 years, since MicroStrategy bought $250 million worth of Bitcoin in August of 2020. Since that time, Bitcoin's up about 140%. The S&P is up about 20%. Nasdaq's up 10%, gold's up 1%. Silver's down about 8%, bonds are down 18%.
Bitcoin is a swarm of cyber hornets serving the goddess of wisdom, feeding on the fire of truth, exponentially growing ever smarter, faster, and stronger behind a wall of encrypted energy. Oh yes, you guessed it right. This is a tweet from the famous Bitcoin preacher Michael Saylor, and he's just given a huge prediction about Cardano ADA. Is he finally ready to change his Bitcoin tune and acknowledge other cryptocurrencies? Despite Bitcoin's volatility and regulatory pressure, Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategy, has emerged as one of the digital asset's most fervent supporters. Saylor's bullish stance has recently led to MicroStrategy amassing an astounding 140,000 Bitcoin, causing ripple effects throughout the market. Saylor's staunch support is finally paying off, you may say. In a tweet on April 5th, Saylor boasted that MicroStrategy had acquired an additional 1,045 Bitcoin for $29.3 million at an average price of $28,016 per Bitcoin. However, the question remains, what if Saylor's predictions for Bitcoin's future prove to be wrong? This is of course just in the present, and the future gains might not be sustainable. As MicroStrategy CEO, Michael Saylor has become an influential figure in the crypto world. His company's immense Bitcoin holdings and his unbending belief in the digital asset has attracted both admiration and skepticism. With MicroStrategy now holding 140,000 Bitcoin, the stakes are higher than ever. But again, what if Saylor's predictions are off the mark? It would definitely be a red flag if Saylor's bullish outlook on Bitcoin proves erroneous. The worst that could happen is the plummeting of MicroStrategy's fortunes. The company's massive Bitcoin investment highlights a lack of diversification, which could impact its financial wellness and investor confidence if Bitcoin values decline. Plus, stakeholders might question Saylor's leadership and the company reputation could suffer as a result. We are not praying for Bitcoin to fall to probably correct Saylor's unchanging notions about the cryptocurrency. If Bitcoin does well, the entire crypto market is in for a good time. However, Saylor's enthusiastic advocacy for Bitcoin has influenced many investors, and has given the volatile nature of the market, a setback might cause wavering confidence in the digital asset. Consequently, the crypto market could see a broader sell-off as investors shift their focus to alternative assets or traditional financial instruments. MicroStrategy's significant Bitcoin holdings could also have a cascading effect on the market if the value dips or the company suddenly sells off its assets. One might argue that Michael Saylor is too far into Bitcoin to reverse his stance now. Having invested a significant portion of his company's funds, as well as his own personal wealth into the digital asset, it could be ascertained that he has little to no choice but to continue promoting Bitcoin in the hopes of attracting more buyers to drive the price up. Are the investors ready to do this for Cardano ADA? It's more like a ride or die affair. Notably, Saylor's optimistic outlook has helped fuel the digital asset growth. But this heavy investment in Bitcoin also raises questions about its objectivity and potential conflicts of interest. As both his personal and company fortunes are tied to the success of Bitcoin, it's worth considering whether his relentless promotion of the cryptocurrency run on genuine belief, self-interest, or a mix of both. Ultimately, whether this could instigate an argument or not, to the extent of which Saylor is committed to Bitcoin amid the potential risk and uncertainties, is a testament to the conviction in the digital asset. But as a crypto investor, you know the rules, and convictions are not enough. So what does the MicroStrategy CEO think about Cardano ADA? Given the situation that occurred last year, it is difficult to conclude that he is bullish about Cardano. Saylor blatantly called Cardano a security, and this did not go down well with many Cardano supporters. The Cardano founder, Charles Hoskinson, stepped in and reminded Saylor that Cardano is far more decentralized than Bitcoin. It has more utility than Bitcoin, which is merely a store of value. He also stated that people keep buying ADA not just to speculate, but to spend ADA on various products and services offered by Cardano-based projects. Still, Michael Saylor calls ADA security, while according to Hoskinson, the only real use case for Bitcoin is to speculate, and despite this, nobody calls Bitcoin a security. Charles also warned that if Bitcoin does not work the way Saylor expects it to, he will go bankrupt. Above all, the Cardano founder admitted that he does not pay much attention to these claims of the MicroStrategy CEO, and he does not think that arguing with him about ADA would be a productive conversation. He shared his view of Bitcoin maximalists, calling them the most difficult, toxic, and useless people to engage with. Nevertheless, this statement from Saylor about Cardano came at a time when the SEC began to rage through the crypto market, hunting for securities. This year, it has been interpreted that the Securities and Exchange Commission appear to be cleaning up the crypto industry. While some investors argue that more regulations would help legitimize the space, others are concerned that too much regulatory interference could diminish its decentralized appeal. It's going to get worse if Cardano is perceived as a security as well. If crypto is deemed a commodity like crude oil, coffee, or natural gas, its primary US regulator would be the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. This agency regulates currency trading and would cover crypto trading as well if cryptocurrencies are deemed as currencies. But if legislators and regulators come around to the idea that crypto should be considered a security, it would fall under the jurisdiction of the SEC. SEC Chair Gary Gensler has made it clear before that he believes that a vast majority of cryptocurrencies are securities based on the Howey test, which comes from a 1946 Supreme Court ruling in the SEC versus W.J. Howey Co. All of these companies should come into compliance with the law, and until they do, we will continue to pursue them as the cop on the beat and investigate and follow the facts and the law, Gensler told Congress. However, Charles Hoskinson recently claimed that ADA remains on solid footing despite the SEC's crackdown on Kraken's crypto staking service. In a YouTube video, Hoskinson explained the fact that the SEC charged Kraken for violating securities law for its staking services would trigger a larger national discussion about the issue. Kraken settled the matter by paying $30 million fine and removing staking from its platform. But Hoskinson said it does not appear that the SEC is deeming blockchain projects like ADA as securities just because there is staking involved, but instead targeted Kraken for the way that the platform had structured its staking service for clients. Obviously, there's going to be a national discussion now about these things, especially now that Kraken and others are getting involved. It does not appear that there are any attempts to say, oh well, staking mechanics somehow now make the underlying asset a security. You probably see a lot of FUD, fear, uncertainty, doubt, over Twitter, Reddit, and other places saying, oh, well if staking is a security, that must mean the underlying asset is. So Ether is now a security, or ADA is now a security, he said. He went on to say, let's be very clear. You can take wheat, which is a commodity, or gold, a commodity, and put in some sort of package or structuring where that package is a security or that activity that you're doing with it is regulated. But that doesn't make wheat or gold a security. So you don't have that transitivity there where what you do with the stake pools could infer the underlying asset has a problem. We haven't seen any attempt to do that at the moment. Furthermore, Hoskinson acknowledged that there is a degree of uncertainty when it comes to the next moves by the government in regulating the crypto sector. He also expressed concern that if the government moves to increase staking regulations, it may fail to draw distinctions among the different crypto staking models, such as between ADA's model and Ethereum's. Now, obviously, again, governments are unpredictable. Facts and circumstances could change, and we'll see things the same time you guys do, so we'll cross that bridge if it comes. But as it stands right now, the ecosystem is fine, so I don't think there's any issue with Cardano as it sits. I don't think there's any issue with our staking model as it sits. Unfortunately, the conflation of what Ethereum is doing with Cardano may drag us into an uncomfortable direction, he said. When asked what the catalyst was for increased regulation of the crypto industry, Cardano's creator stated unequivocally that it was the collapse of FTX. The minute it happened, I knew the entire industry was in for a seriously hard time, he concluded. There are several huge things expected to pop out of Cardano. The ADA coin price needs to hit a significant high, misconceptions about its strategies and approaches need to be cleared, and it needs to scale more. So many anticipations, but little patience. It doesn't work that way. Moreover, Michael Saylor might not have an accurate prediction about Cardano ADA. But that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification buttons, and we'll see you in the next video.